Okay, so a couple of changes from yesterday as we walk through a bush. This is a path. One, I've put my ghillie suit on so we can go through this forest, which I didn't have on yesterday. Might make a little bit of a difference. And also we have now got the Ultra Swiss foot, which allows me to attach it to the monopod and the gimbal head. And I've also changed the stabilization from normal to sport, because I found yesterday that it was a bit, especially with the birds in flight, I should have changed it, but it was a bit jittery going back and forth, trying to keep itself stable. I have got normal stabilization on photos for obvious reason. I don't need sport mode for that. And now that I've got the monopod attached, that will help with the stabilization anyhow. That is very concerning. That is very concerning. This is why you don't walk in the woods in the wind. I don't know if it was like that yesterday, but yeah. Come on, up. Oh, I got such a baby girl. Wait, wait, wait. Come. You spoiled my shot. Good girl. I think I found a place where I would like to set up a bird feeder. Here. Now if I was here, the hope would be maybe we would sit here. This is reasonably flat, good enough. I can put a bird feeder on that fallen tree there somewhere. Yeah, sure, I could put a bird feeder on there. And if I sat here, I've got all these bushes beautifully, and what birds tend to do is they will sit and look and see if there's any predators. So that tree there, I'm trying to guess on the screen, that tree there would be lovely, and certainly that bold tree there would be lovely. It would be a little bit of a boring background, but what I could also do is potentially in this grass here, in the middle of this grass, is put maybe something up there that they can sit on as well. Oh. Oh. There you go. So once these people have gone past, I'm gonna sit down here, and we got the views there, there, and there, and we could also sit in the shade, and Dora will be sat down on the ground. I have got to take into account that there is a swing behind me, so that's not ideal, but it is what it is, isn't it? Come. Ah. Come. Come. Sit. Good girl. Oops. You're sitting on there, are you? At least try it. Where are you going? Lie down. Lie down. Dora's taken it on herself to get some camo on. So far I've seen a warbler and I've seen a goldfinch, and I did see a wren, but I couldn't get my lens on it in time. Okay, let's take this off. So, pros and cons of this 800mm lens. Bearing in mind this is first impressions, let me play with it a little bit longer and I'll give a full review at a later date, once I've had maybe a month or two playing with it. So pros and cons. So pros, the reach, outstanding. Light, brilliant. As in light, as in it doesn't weigh much. Handability, it's good actually. Yeah, control wheel is brilliant. Function buttons, it's a bit tricky getting hold of the one down here, especially being a 800mm. Who really handles the lens that close? Can you get? I don't know, maybe you might be able to get to it. That's why I'm going to do a review later on, because that might actually be possible. I might use that button as something else. At the moment I've got it set up as a focus set, but I might use it for something else. I'm not sure what yet. I do wish that the control ring you had more options available to you. You've got the ISO, the aperture, and you've got high zoom, and you've got the exposure. I've got it set to exposure because that's the most useful for me. However, I wish you could set it to other things. What that is, I don't know. For me personally, I like going from back and forth between DX mode and FX mode. I use FX mode to focusing where I need to go, and then DX once I got that focus where I need it to be. You do have to change it to DX before you start recording, otherwise you can't change it, which is fine, I suppose. I don't know why, but the focusing is a bit hit and miss for me. Maybe it's the way I'm using it. I'm just going to get that red kite. So focusing, bear in mind that I am coming from an F4 to a 5.6, no, 6.3, and it is slow compared to that 100% slow. I was expecting it to be slow. It's probably about on par with the 200 to 500 f-mount lens, and that's a 5.6. I do know I'm going to have to do more testing on this, but I'm finding that for some reason when you're in DX mode, the focusing could do with some improvements. And I'm also finding this may be the user error, so don't take this as gospel. When I'm trying to focus, it doesn't seem to want to do much search. What I mean is it doesn't go up and down the focus for some reason. I need to do a bit more research into that and a bit more play and see what's going on with that. But it doesn't always go up and down the focus, and I do have to use the manual focus to get it in more or less the area before it will try to focus, which is annoying at best. But when you are using the manual focus, it is pretty quick. You got the numbers on there, it tells you the distance if you could ever work on the distance, but you've got a good idea if it's zooming in or zooming out, which is useful when you're not used to doing it. The focusing, autofocus, is very quiet. You do that you can hear a buzz. Personally, I can hear a buzz, but especially compared to my last lens, which was an internal motor only, not a silenced motor, it's considerably more quiet. But I just wish it had a bit more power, a bit more speed. But I'm going to play around with the settings that I've got to make sure they're all correct, make sure that I'm getting the best results possible. So further research is required on that, and make sure you're subscribed, and then probably let's give myself 3 months. Hopefully we get 3 months of good weather and I can play around with it each weekend and get better and better and get to know it better, so you can get to know it better and see if it's worthwhile an investment. If you do want to make an investment in it, if you go to my website, you'll be able to find a link, and that will give me a little bit of pennies towards the channel to help support further projects. The biggest project that I am working on is trying to get hold of a van. Once I got a van, I can convert that, and then we'll be able to spend more time out and about playing. Just in case anyone doesn't know, I've also using the Z8 body with firmware 2.0. I didn't bother with 2.1 because it's just not worth my while.